Hello and many thanks for joining us on Nationwide live on the network service of the NTA. I'm Ian Ray John. Welcome. President Muhammadu Buhari has signed into law the 2019 budget of continuity. President Buhari says the goal of the budget is to move the economy further on the path of inclusive, sustainable and diversified growth. The 2019 budget size is 8.923 trillion naira, an increase of over 90 billion naira to the figure proposed by the executive. President Buhari says addition to the budget size will adversely impact the implementation of the economic recovery and growth plan.
As you are all aware, some weeks ago, the National Assembly passed the 2019 appropriation bill, which I will be signing into law today. I would like to take this opportunity to thank the leadership of the National Assembly and indeed all the distinguished and honorable members for all the hard work they put in to get us here. You will all recall that in December 2018, I presented our 2019 budget proposal with the theme Budget of Continuity. Our goal was to use this budget to move the economy further on the path of inclusive, diversified, and sustainable growth. Back then, I proposed a total expenditure of 8.83 trillion naira to the National Assembly for appropriation targeting strategic and impact projects and initiatives. However, 8.92 trillion naira. This is an increase of 90.33 billion naira over our submission. This increase reflects changes introduced by the National Assembly. In some areas, expenses we proposed were reduced, while in other areas they were increased. Of course, some of these changes will adversely impact our programs, making it difficult for us to achieve the objectives of the economic recovery and the growth plan.
Meanwhile, the Nigerian Television Authority, NTA, will today, May 27, 2019, air a special interview with President Muhammadu Buhari on its network service at 10 o'clock. All television stations and other electronic media outlets are enjoined to hook up to this broadcast. And on Children's Day, President Muhammadu Buhari has advised parents to work closely with other relevant stakeholders towards ensuring that children shun drug abuse and other social vices in the society, so as to ensure better future for Nigerians. The president gave the advice at the 2019 National Children's Day celebration in Abuja. Shaibu Onaze Yakubu reports that the president was represented by the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Muhammad Musa Bello.
This year's celebration provides an opportunity to reiterate our administration's commitment to the promotion of your rights and also to reflect on our role and responsibilities as government towards the actualization of these rights.
Welcome. The Senate President, Bukola Saraki, has described children as Nigeria's most important treasure as a nation. Saraki, in a message to mark the 2019 Children's Day, signed by his special advisor on media and publicity, Yusuf Olaniyan, felicitated with Nigerian children and urged leaders at all levels to recommit to the empowerment of the Nigerian child. He noted that on this day, Nigerians should remember Leah Sharibu and other young Nigerian children who will be commemorating this symbolic day without their loved ones by praying for them and continuous call for their release. Saraki noted that the 8th National Assembly worked assiduously to provide for primary health care fund in the budget, as well as ensuring that the Child's Rights Act is domesticated across the states of the Federation. And still on Children's Day celebration, as part of its activities to celebrate children, the Nigerian Television Authority, NTA Knowledge, had its annual Children's Day fanfare at the headquarters, Abuja. Jacob Ruben Samuel reports.
Children, parents, guests came to the arena of the NTA to celebrate the 2019 Children's Funfair tagged End Malnutrition, Protect the Future of the Nigerian Child. The Director Multi-Channels, who represented the Director General of the Nigerian Television Authority, Malam Yakubu Ibn Mohammed, welcomed its guests to the Children's Day celebration.
It's very apt, as everybody knows, children, particularly in Africa, in Nigeria, suffer a lot of malnutrition. So a focus on it is very apt and timely.
The General Manager, NTA Knowledge, who is the organizer of the event, also spoke on the importance of the funfair.
I seize this opportunity to implore you to give much time and attention to the welfare of your children. Help protect their rights.
There were various activities from the children from different schools and orphanages in Abuja. One of the sponsors of the event, the representative of Polaris Bank, spoke about the event after seeing the children's activities.
Saving culture on how to earn money, how to save it, how to grow it. So that is why we decided that we will go to all these schools and try to educate the children, support the teacher in what they are doing, and also partner with NTA Knowledge to instill the saving culture in our children.
In Abuja, Jacob Ruben Samuel, NTA News.
And in a career falling standard of education and stable economy, corruption in high places and insecurity are the fears of over 250 pupils drawn from the 18 local government areas of Edo State at this year's Children's Summit, organized by the Nigerian Television Authority, NTA, Akure. The theme of the event is Fears, Hopes of the Nigerian Child in the New Dispensation. Tony Batire brings us details.
Representatives of each school in the 18 local governments and some private schools made their presentations. After hours of intellectual presentations by the children, St. Lee Nursery and Primary School Akure came first with 9.3 points, Ondo West Local Government came second with 9.2 points, while Akure South Local Government came third with 8.2 points.
NTA authorities for their support for the children. I'm very glad to be the second position. I will work more to first next year.
Be it indecent dressing among children, anything facing children is a problem that all of us must together work to wage a war against it.
NTA places very high premium on their education and general well-being. We will continue to live by this, we will continue to work for this, we will continue to deploy our resources as we have done in this program.
Highlights of the event were a lecture on oral earth, cultural displays, and cutting of the summit cake in Akure. Tony Batire, NTA News.
As part of activities to mark this year's Children's Day, the Chinese Embassy, NTA and StarTimes TV network, in collaboration with the Ministry of Information and Culture, were at a local government school in Urozo, here in the Federal Capital Territory, to donate some school materials. Patricia Isameluba reports that the event was graced by the traditional ruler of the community, members of his council, and parents of the children.
The pupils, with excitement, took their turns to receive gift items which includes school bags, writing materials, amongst others. Lizzie Ehezi Iwamadi, a director with the Ministry of Information and Culture, emphasized the need for government to reach out to the grassroots in its developmental initiatives. She also applauded the Chinese embassy for taking particular interest in the Nigerian educational sector.
The motivating factor really is to key into the federal government's empowerment, poverty alleviation, and job creation opportunities for the grassroots. That was why I went to the Chinese embassy. You know, they have great potentials of keying into the cultural aspects of anywhere they are.
The cultural counselor of the Chinese embassy in Nigeria and chief executive officer of NTA StarTimes TV network say their presence is to complement government efforts on education as well as encourage and inspire young peoples of the community during the Children's Day celebration.
China, Nigeria, we are good friends, good brothers, and good partners. From this, we can really do something to help local people, local community, to help the development of the school and let them have a beautiful future.
Sometimes, as a media company, we donate them the decoder and the projector for the school and the village.
A show of different cultural dance steps by the pupils added some color to the event as a sign of appreciation. In Abuja, Patricia Esemiluba, NTA News.
And away from Children's Day celebration, Nigerian youths have again been challenged to look at the issue of leadership as a responsibility for all, since government cannot do all to meet citizens' demand. This dominated discussions at a one-day national youth dialogue organized by Evergreen Initiative, a non-governmental organization. Timothy Yusuf reports.
This national dialogue is essentially geared towards raising a national consciousness for youth involvement in nation building ahead of the presidential inauguration, as well as handing and taking over of governments at the state levels. Organizers believe that the time for active citizens' conversations for change is now.
Yes, we understand that the government has roles to play, but citizens have roles to play as well. It comes from paying your taxes. So what we're trying to do with this campaign is to raise a national awareness among young people to actively get involved in nation building.
The major goal is to empower young individuals who are also stakeholders in our community to play their own parts, to do their own things needed to be done by them. They have to be able to identify issues, get their facts straight, follow up in terms of accountability with their leaders, and also do what is needed to be done on their part.
Speakers are of the consensus that there was the need for Nigerian youth to constructively learn the art of governance from the leaders if they are truly the leaders of tomorrow.
With this sort of program, you just empower people, let them know that their voices are very important and it's their duty to wake up.
The overall gain is a better nation for every one of us. If everybody is active, then it's all good for all of us.
They implored those in positions of authority to give youth a chance as new governments emerge at both federal and state levels. In Abuja, Timothy Yusuf, NT News.
It's now time to head to Lagos, and Michael is standing by to bring us more reports from that zone. Hello, Michael.
And welcome to Lagos. Developing the intellects of children in the areas of robotics and artificial intelligence is critical in strengthening their creative capability towards enhancing future dynamics in the areas of invention. This was stated by the Zonal Director, NTA Lagos Network Center, Ahmed Bello, at a Children's Day party organized to commemorate Children's Day. Amaka O reports.
The 2019 edition of NTA2 Children's Day party was a special outing as the management and staff did not rest on their oars in giving children a befitting Children's Day celebration. The event featured march past by various schools. Winners of the march past were presented with various gifts. The day was also spiced up with lots of fun, dancing and singing, competitions, exhibition, spelling bee, among others. The Zonal Director, NTA2 Lagos Network Center, Ahmed Lawal, says children should be nurtured and properly guided for a greater future.
Policymakers and the rest of them will focus attention on the lives of children tomorrow, because they are the leaders of tomorrow, and if they are the leaders of tomorrow, then it means that this is the time for us to begin to mold and shape what they become tomorrow.
Other guests, including representatives of wife of Lagos State Governor Bisi Ajanaku and mother of a day and former Deputy Director Marketing Betsy Ihuanwike, spoke on the need for children to be taught good morals and character formation for the good of society.
Good character and human dignity are the greatest asset to showcase you to the world. Children, they are pride of this nation.
We all need to come together as parents, as individuals, as a whole nation as large, to make sure that we see our children through with the right morals, with the right attitude, so that we can enjoy our future as a large.
Over 30 schools across Lagos State converge on NTA2 arena for the 2019 Children's Day celebration. In Lagos, Amaka O, NTA News.
The Lagos State Governor-elect Babajide Sanwo-Olu has reassured Lagosians that his administration will be people-oriented. He gave the reassurance at an interactive session organized by the All Progressives Congress Independent Campaign Group to appreciate and commend the effort of all that makes his re-election a success in Lagos. Tunde Saiki has details.
The meeting was to say thank you to party members who contributed to the successful outing of the All Progressives Congress APC Lagos State in the February 2019 general elections. The state governor-elect Babajide Sanwo-Olu, while thanking everyone at the event, said the incoming administration will hit the ground running. He said several roads, drainages, schools and hospitals are on ground, seeking immediate attention.
Bottom line of all of this is that from next week, we have to get to work. We have to look for ways in which we improve the quality of life for each and every one of them. And that's what it's all about.
The Director General of Sanwo-Olu Hamzat Campaign Organization, Tayo Ayinde, said the session has become imperative as every party member was on his or her feet working towards this victory at the polls, and as such, appreciating and thanking them is not out of place. Certificates of service were presented to some outstanding party members that worked effortlessly for the APC in the February elections in the state. In Lagos, Tunde Saiki, NTA News.
Star Times Nigeria has signed an agreement with Chinese animation companies in Lagos for productions that have Nigerian ambience and content. Paul Cargo has more.
That was a signing expected to usher in a new era of animation films in Nigeria. The aim is to introduce Chinese animations to Nigeria while creating a platform to partner Nigerian producers to produce animations that are relevant to Nigerians. Animations that have characters that Nigerians can identify with. Chief Operating Officer of Star Times Nigeria, Tunde Aino, explained, is one of the objectives.
Animation is for everybody, but as you know, children, they like animation much more than adults. Children are fascinated by animation. So it starts from, the kids, from preschool up to adulthood, but mostly children and teenagers.
To satisfy the curiosity of Nigerian audience, dominated by children at the event, christened Chinese Animation African Tour, a Chinese animation was shown after a dance competition and games for the children.
So much fun. I enjoyed myself. I feel very great.
So much of fun, and the children are excited. It's a welcome development.
The tour is in tandem with China's plan to promote widespread adoption of information technology and digitalization. In Lagos, Paul Mukago, NTA News.
From 1682 to date, Lagos, the most popular city in Africa, has enjoyed the reign of various traditional rulers. And in 2003, Oba Rilwan Akiolu ascended the throne of his forefathers as the Oba of Lagos. 16 years after and still counting, Oba Akiolu took time to thank Allah for sustaining him on the throne. Our Yusuf Jibo has details.
Welcome to the Idugoran Palace of the Oba of Lagos, Rilwan Akiolu, who in a humble way is celebrating 16 years on the throne. Prayers were offered for peace, long life and prosperity. Oba Akiolu was selected by kingmakers of the Lagos Traditional Kingdom on the 23rd of May 2003, after Oba Adeyinka Oyekon joined his ancestors. Oba Rilwan was crowned on the 9th of August 2003 after being confirmed by the state government. While appreciating his people for the prayers, Oba Akiolu urged Nigerian leaders to do all they can to ensure they live up to expectations by using their positions to better the lives of their subjects.
We should cooperate fully with the government. No backbiting. Go behind this man. If anybody says any unpleasant something against anybody, challenge that person immediately.
Born 75 years ago in Lagos, Oba Rilwan Akiolu attended Ansaruddin College, Lagos, from 1961 to 1965 and studied law at the University of Lagos, where he received his Bachelor of Law degree. Oba Rilwan joined the police force in 1970, where he served in various capacities, rising to the rank of Assistant Inspector General of Police. In Lagos, Awol Yusuf Jibo, NTA News.
That's our contribution from Lagos. Back to Abuja for more on Nationwide.
Many thanks, Michael. We'll now take a break. Nationwide returns in a bit.
The clock is ticking. It's the signal for the inauguration of the 16th President of Nigeria and 5th President in the 4th Nigerian Republic.
Nigerians are set to mark the beginning of the second term of Muhammadu Buhari as President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. The first term saw the most massive critical infrastructural development, agricultural revolution, war against corruption, tackling insecurity, and unprecedented social investment programs. Our opportunity to keep moving our country on the path to a prosperous future. It's the next level for the Nigerian people. This is our time as Nigerians. Come, let us celebrate the next level with Muhammadu Buhari, President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, Federal Republic of Nigeria. Date, Wednesday, 29th May 2019. Venue, Edo State, Abuja. Time, 8 a.m. prompt. Roll out the drums. Come, let's celebrate.
Announcer Boss Gida Mustafa, Secretary to Government of the Federation and Chairman 2019 Presidential Inauguration Committee.
This is to inform invited guests that parking arrangements for vehicles have been made for the presidential inauguration ceremony scheduled to hold on Wednesday, 29th May 2019 at the Eagle Square. This is to ensure smooth and seamless movement during the occasion. The Eagle Square car park has been reserved for some special guests only. All other guests are expected to park their vehicles at the following designated parking and picking points: Millennium Towers Car Park, Central Business District, Old Parade Ground, Area 10, Garki, Abuja, Supreme Court Car Park. Shuttle buses will convey guests to the Eagle Square for the inauguration event and return them to various parking and picking points.
This event is part of activities lined up for the Presidential Inauguration and Democracy Day Celebration 2019.
Boss Mustafa, Secretary to the Government of the Federation and Chairman 2019 Presidential Inauguration Committee, announcer.
They are there at the crack of dawn. They are there busy preparing while we rise for our day. They are there silently, guarding, waiting, listening, and watching. They are there ready in the sky above and the waters below, in the blistering heat of the day, in the dead of night, willing, indefatigable, determined in the defense of the sovereignty of our country. They are our first line of defense and our last. They who have paid the ultimate price in defending us. They are fathers and uncles. They are mothers and sisters and girlfriends and boyfriends. They are brothers and cousins and best friends and neighbors. They are classmates, colleagues, and citizens of this nation. They are our defenders and deserve our respect, our prayers, our thoughts. Nigeria, please support our armed forces.
One Football Confederation,
24 teams, 6 stadiums, 4 cities, 504 African stars, 1 trophy. The Africa Cup of Nations Egypt 2019 comes alive from June 21 with the showpiece final on July 19, 2019. Watch the 52 matches of the tournament live on Africa's biggest and largest television network, NTA, in partnership with Hotsports. Be part of the biggest soccer fiesta in the African continent as the Super Eagles go on a bold mission to clinch the prestigious title for the 4th time, to the excitement of millions of fans across the length and breadth of Nigeria. Nigeria's premier sports production and marketing group, Hotsports, partners with the biggest, the largest and the #1 television network in Africa, the NTA, to give Nigerians a memorable viewing experience. Boost fan support for the Super Eagles to glory in Egypt. For inquiries, please contact Abubakar on 0803-331-0175 and Felix on 0803-308-2375. NTA, you can't beat the rich.
Good to have you back. The Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, will no longer accept submission of candidates by political parties without the endorsement of supervising INEC officials in the conduct of party primaries. INEC Chairman Professor Mahmoud Yakubu gave the directive while presenting certificates of return to the Governor, Deputy Governor and National Assembly members-elect of Zamfara State.
Our democracy in particular and the electoral process in general can never be virile unless political parties rise to the challenge of internal party democracy. It is in this context that the latest judgments of the Supreme Court are crucial steps in strengthening our electoral jurisprudence. Going forward, we will not accept the submission of names of candidates by political parties under Section 31 of the Electoral Act 2010 as amended, unless there is evidence monitored by the Commission of compliance with the provision of Section 85 of the Act.
Governor-elect of Zamfara State, Bello Muhammad Matawale, commended President Muhammadu Buhari for not interfering in the process and promised an all-inclusive government. Moving on, the Minister of Science and Technology, Dr. Bunaya Onu, has urged agencies of the ministry to endeavor to convert their research findings and innovation into products and services so as to boost the nation's economy. The minister gave the charge at the 2019 town hall meeting held with directors general of agencies under the Ministry alongside the 2018 Staff Performance Award ceremony. Justin Bemwe reports.
Achieving the best results for technological advancement in Nigeria remains top priority for the Minister of Science and Technology. And that is why, as he meets directors and heads of agencies under the ministry who are driving certain mandates, he is charging them to make it a priority to intensify research and innovation as well as increase awareness among Nigerians.
We are thinking of intellectual property policy for the ministry and for the nation. It's important because every nation in the world, their ability to invent, to innovate, is measured by intellectual property.
Thereafter, the minister had an interactive session with all members of staff of the ministry, where he stressed that performance assessment is critical. And this was a time for presentation of awards to identified hard-working staff, where the minister reiterated that award system motivates workers as it improves and encourages competition for productivity. The minister, Dr. Ogbunaya Onu, has received the Best Performing Minister Award from the staff of the ministry. The permanent secretary in the ministry, Beatrice Bako Nabasu, who announced the award on behalf of the staff, directors and director generals of the ministry's agencies, said the award was in recognition of the efforts of the minister in repositioning science and technology sector in the country. Justin Bemwe, NTA News.
And in Akwa Ibom State, several communities have continued to benefit from different interventions and empowerment programs from private and corporate bodies across the country. The latest being beneficiaries of the Foundation for Peace Studies and Human Development Program in 4 local government areas of Akwa Ibom State. The report.
The empowerment program, which also seeks to complement the federal government's efforts at poverty alleviation, is under the market beautification and upgrade project of the foundation, with support from Mobile Producing Nigeria. Over 500 market items, including tables, chairs, and sunscreen ultra-large umbrellas, were presented to indigents of Ibuno, Eket, Esereket, and Ona local government areas of the state.
If you are not in the business of trading, please, we want these things to be displayed at the marketplace, not at the road corner, not in people's houses.
This is to encourage empowering the women of this community and hope that the women will use this judiciously at the grace of God.
The indigents were also involved in various peace conflict resolution tactics and workshops. They described the gesture as rewarding.
And I'm still begging you people not to stop here. I beg you to program.
A beach party was also on hand to wrap up the week-long event. Evelyn Badu Epu, NTA News.
The sincerity and development commitment of the Buhari's administration to Niger Delta has engendered relative peace and security in the region. Speaking on NTA's flagship program, Good Morning Nigeria, Minister of Niger Delta Affairs, Usani Uguru Usani, is optimistic that the ongoing infrastructural development in the region will be more visible in the next 4 years. Abdusalam Jubril reports.
Contrary to the perception of critics at the onset, the Buhari administration on assumption of office in 2015 came up with a framework that will alleviate the many challenges of the oil-rich Niger Delta.
In a nutshell, I would say what has changed in the Niger Delta is the anxiety that used to be and often felt even in the air. Now it is giving peace a chance for development to take place.
The minister insisted that visible gains and progress has been made in the region in the last 4 years.
We've done some water projects, we've done some electrification projects, we've done a health intervention project like health centers equipped, we've done also some ICT centers for schools.
The engagement of youths, especially ex-agitators, in various vocational and empowerment schemes under the Presidential Amnesty Program is enhancing human capacity in the region.
In Ondo, where you have the oil and gas training vocational center at Agaragba, if an institution is situated in a place and you have that situation, that crisis there, we decided to bring back some of them to the institution to train them without paying them the stipends to quell, disharmony and all that in the area.
The guest emphasized that the completion of ongoing developmental projects in the region will change the face of the Niger Delta for good. In Abuja, Abdusalam Jubril, NTA News.
It's now time to join Agatha in our Benin Network Center for more reports. Hello, Agatha.
Very good to see you. Good evening and a warm welcome to Benin. Edo State government is putting in place policies that will check harmful practices against the Edo child. This is Governor Godwin Obaseki's assurance to children as they joined their counterparts to celebrate Children's Day. Good Luck in INEC reports Minister of Sports and Youth Development, Solomon Dalong, was at the celebration.
The University of Benin Sports Complex venue of the occasion came alive as the governor and his entourage arrived in the complex. The governor, who took his time to interact with some of the children, is disturbed by the trend of drug abuse and cultism among school children, a situation he says is currently receiving the attention of the state government.
We continue to work very closely with the federal government to provide the appropriate environment for children to attain their full potential.
Minister of Sports and Youth Development, Solomon Dalong, is happy with the achievement of the state government. He assured the children of the federal government's commitment in safeguarding their future.
Investment in education and investment in youth represents our commitment to define and to construct the future.
The event featured march past, football match, cultural display, and songs ministration.
Human trafficking is more of dangers to the girls, so I want the government to stop human trafficking.
You can make it in Nigeria. They think that you only make it in Nigeria. It's not easy over there.
In Benin, Goodluck Inaini, NT News.
And Deputy Governor of Edo State, Philip Shaibu, Nollywood stars and others in the entertainment industry have taken a tour of the Edo Entertainment and Creative Industry Hub, which will serve as a centralized location for entertainers and grow young talents. Ivio Mori reports.
The days of searching for a suitable set for movies and musical videos appear to be winding down, courtesy of the Edo Entertainment and Creative Industry. These hectares of land comprising various buildings has the capacity to take different aspects of entertainment as well as serve as a studio for shooting movies and others. However, development is ongoing. For Philip Shaibu, the hub is one of the areas the state government will use to create more jobs.
What we are doing is to get our youths gainfully employed. Whatever restructuring we are going to do to fit the creative hub that we are envisaging to create here will be something that is not obsolete, that is not alien or strange to those that will make use of it.
To ensure it meets the required standard, those actively involved in the business of entertainment were on hand to give necessary advice.
Reconstruction will go on. New buildings will be added to what we are seeing. And basically, it becomes a one-stop shop center for the average film maker.
The entertainment hub is located at Okoromi community of Iri Road. In Benin, Ivie Omoyi, NTA News.
The Oba of Benin, Ewaye II, has assured the State Director of the Department of State Security, DSS, of the support of the palace in the discharge of his duties in the state. Oba Ewaye gave the assurance when the State Director, Bran Ekwaba, led other management on a visit.
The Omonoba told his visitors that the palace has had cordial relationship with the Department of State Security and that the chiefs and the Niges in the kingdom will cooperate with the DSS, especially in offering useful information that will lead to crime detection and prevention.
We do our best to support the work of the state services, security services, as we have always done. And of course, I know you require the input of our community heads here and there for information to help you do your work.
The State Director of the DSS, Dan Ekwaba, was in the palace to pay homage and seek royal blessings.
My presence here in the palace is simply to secure the palace blessing, to enable me discharge the duties of State Director of SSS as I stay in this ancient kingdom.
His intention is to join forces with other security agencies to maintain peace and ensure security of lives and property of the people of Edo State.
That ends our package. Nationwide continues in Abuja.
Many thanks, Agatha, for that update. Moving on, in view of the progress made in the fight against insurgents in the northeast and the need for lasting peace and sustainable economic growth in the area, the federal government is developing a policy framework for a smooth transition after military activities to a post-conflict civilian-led governance in the region. Doing Dia reports that this policy is to allow the locals to take full ownership of their communities.
The insurgent activities within the northeast and the Lake Chad Basin necessitated the heavy operations of the military within the region to stem the tide. With the renewed commitment of the federal government towards relegating the insurgents to the background, it becomes imperative for civilians to go back to their normal life. And so is this roundtable discussion to come up with a policy framework that will enhance the smooth transition from the military operation to civilian administration in those ravaged areas. This roundtable discussion involving the Ministry of Interior, Center for Democracy Development, and the United States Institute of Peace
ensure the reconstruction and rehabilitation of infrastructure, rebuilding education, health, and agricultural facilities, providing security for liberated communities, reconciling communities, and re-establishing civil authority for good governance.
Apart from their researches and recommendations on the post-conflict management in the Northeast, the meeting is also expected to examine the effect of climate change, which is also a source of conflicts within the Lake Chad Basin, as well as a consideration on President Muhammadu Buhari's initiative for the recharge of the Lake Chad Basin, a project put at $50 billion.
And you need to not just bring back peace, but make sure that the people that are affected get back to their livelihoods and that they have what they are doing and that their lives go back to normalcy.
But we also know that conflict situations are very challenging and complex, and transitioning from military to civil-led governance is very difficult.
So we want to look at a civil service that is well primed to be able to facilitate the functioning of the rehabilitation, reconstruction, and the resettlement.
The outcome is to ensure that critical stakeholders key into such policy framework to ensure a lasting peace and tranquility in the area. In Abuja, doing Dia NT News.
17 years after parts of the Jos main market was razed by fire, the Plateau State government has begun a reconstruction process with the demolition of the burnt structure. The report.
The Jos main market, which used to be one of the largest markets in West Africa with traders from different ethnic nationalities, gave way on Monday, 11th February 2002, when an explosion rocked the structure. 17 years after, the Lalong administration has taken steps to rebuild the market with the demolition of the destroyed parts.
We're talking about half a second delay, so because it's in 3 sequences, so the middle part goes and then it pulls the outer parts into it.
With the successful demolition of the affected portions, the Plateau State government restates its readiness to complete rebuilding towards restoring the glory of the market and state at large.
We've already made our plans. It's already in the budget. So by this, we're just waiting for them to finish. We'll award the contract and then the process of rebuilding will start.
For the traders who have stayed for nearly 2 decades without a conducive trading place, are calling for the timely completion of the structure.
We're not happy to stay inside sun like this. Water will beat us, sun will beat us.
The demolition, I think, is in order to rearrange the real face of terminus.
The new edifice is designed to have a medical facility, car parks, police posts, restaurants, and other needs. In Jos, Mary Domtour, NTA News.
That's all we can take on Nationwide today. Many thanks for being a part of it. We'll now join our live broadcast studio for a telecast of the Rotimi Amechi's birthday.
This is the network service of the NTA. We now join our outside broadcast crew for a live telecast.